Ladies and gentlemen, one thing that I can't stand is when a cop is responsible for the death of an innocent person and they go on and get a job in another county or with the sheriff's department. That should not even be allowed. Kelly Goodlett, former detective for Memphis, said the whole drug scenario was made up. Breonna Taylor literally died for no reason. So, how is it that Myles Cosgrove can just go out here after he participated in the killing of Breonna Taylor and get another job? Nah. You know, it's amazing how when it came down to Tyree Nichols, they were very fast in taking away peace license. Why is not the same thing being done to these cops that were involved in Breonna Taylor's killing? How come we're not hearing about their peace license getting taken away for falsifying some drug bust? Faked up the whole thing. That's what a demon would do. So, Louisville officer who killed Breonna Taylor hired by police force in nearby county. Myles Cosgrove, a former Louisville police officer who shot and killed Breonna Taylor in March of 2020, became a law enforcement officer again in a nearby county, according to various local media outlets. This should not be happening. But, America is not the land of justice. It's not. This country is not concerned about justice. That's why they don't practice it. The Carroll County Sheriff's Office, which is about an hour drive northeast of Louisville, recently hired Cosgrove. Yeah, now you know where to call. This man should not be an active officer ever again for killing Breonna Taylor for nothing. Oh, boy. Chief Deputy Rob Miller told the Courier Journal on Saturday, "We think he will help reduce the flow of drugs in our area and reduce property crimes." Miller said, "Really? He sure didn't do that when he was with Louisville, but he's going to do that with you. Please." We felt like he was a good candidate to help us in our county. So it's just them looking out for each other. That's all. They're looking out for him and giving him another chance when it's definitely not deserved. This man should never be policing anywhere. You just wiped out a woman that had nothing to do with a drug bust, and y'all sat and made up some make-believe story and then went and carried out murdering somebody needlessly. That's why the feds got involved, because Daniel Cameron, he failed to do his job. We have seen them do this in other cases. We saw Betty Shelby get her job back after what she did. There's no way this woman should be practicing law enforcement anywhere. But there are countless cops that have done these sort of things and went on to other police departments. And my thing is, if you can take the peace license away from the Tennessee cops in Memphis, then why are you failing to do this in Louisville, Kentucky? There's no excuse for these cops that lied about everything, and the feds had to come down on their butt, and they lied to the feds. But they can still keep their peace license? Oh, somebody in Kentucky is dropping the ball. We know Daniel Cameron ain't going to do nothing. And y'all really need to run him out of town. So, Chanel Helm, the lead organizer of Black Lives Matter Louisville, says Cosgrove return to the police force shows the impunity often afforded to law enforcement, and it should not be that way. It should not be that way. If a life is lost needlessly, and this cop definitely was involved in that, he should not be allowed to go anywhere and get another police job. The way in which he go and get a job in the same field should be illegal. For a typical citizen, we aren't able to re-enter certain fields if we're fired from them. That carries with you, she told the station WFPL, and she's right. Cosgrove was one of 7 officers involved in the deadly fake falsified raid inside Breonna Taylor's apartment in the middle of the night. I just can't get over the fact that they made up a lie in order to do the raid and lied to get the warrant. Mm-mm-mm. The police came to serve a no knock warrant, barged in, startling Taylor, a 26-year-old ER technician, and her boyfriend, believing the officers were intruders. Taylor's boyfriend fired a single shot at them. And I don't think he fired anything, but he's been blamed for that. But thanks to Judge Olu Stevens, Kenneth Walker was able to get out and he sued them for a few $1 million. I think he sued on the state level and the federal level. Now, I think the state level was already settled and he was waiting for his suit on the federal level. Okay. I mean, it could be over by now. It has been quite some time. Officers returned 32 shots. Half of those 32 shots were made by Cosgrove. 2 of his rounds struck Breonna Taylor. The FBI ballistics report showed that it was Cosgrove bullets that actually killed Breonna Taylor, according to WFPL. January 2021, the Louisville Metro Police Department fired Cosgrove for violating department procedures on the use of deadly force by failing to properly identify a threat when he fired his weapon. So that means when he was in that apartment flinging around all them bullets, Breonna Taylor technically was never a threat to them. Cosgrove also violated LMPD's policy by not wearing a body camera during a raid. See, when cops fail at wearing body cameras, that should be an automatic termination. If they have access to a body camera and somebody dies and they did not have it on or it was switched off, that should be an automatic termination. Mm-mm-mm. In Cosgrove's termination letter, the interim LMPD Chief Yvette Gentry wrote, "The shots you fired went in 3 different directions, indicating you did not verify a threat or have a target acquisition." Gentry added, "In other words, the evidence showed that you fired wildly at unidentified subjects or targets located within the department." Yeah, just being reckless. Cosgrove appealed his case to get his job back in November of 2021, but ultimately the courts upheld the department's decision to terminate him. The officer has not faced any criminal charges, and he should. He should. If his bullets that struck Breonna Taylor killed her, he should be facing criminal charges. 4 officers were formally charged by the Justice Department with civil rights violation, but Cosgrove was not one of them. Well, the question is, why is he not one of them? Why? They already determined his shots actually killed her. So why is he not one of them? So in 2022, Kentucky Law Enforcement Council voted to allow Cosgrove to keep his police certification. See, this is what I'm talking about. But you took the peace license away from all of those officers involved with Tyree Nichols. But an officer that actually murdered a person that was innocent, he keeps his peace license, and some council in Kentucky voted for that. So are there any brothers and sisters on this council? Because it don't sound like it. So this council let him keep his peace license, which allowed him to be eligible for police work elsewhere, because he knew he couldn't get his job back at LMPD. Y'all need to quit with these double standards for real. Cosgrove was not the first officer to be removed from the department after the misconduct to be hired elsewhere. The phenomenon known as wandering cops. Oh, that's what y'all call that? When they get fired from one department for misconduct or murdering somebody, and they're known as a wandering cop. Okay, I'm going to have to remember that. Has been an issue for decades in the US, in part because there is a lack of national coordination to keep track of officers with a history of misconduct. Taylor's death fueled racial justice protests around the country during the summer of 2020. That year, Louisville's city council unanimously voted to ban no knock warrants. Y'all gonna have to tell me what you think about this. I'm upset. I'm really upset that he was able to keep his peace license and go get hired somewhere else after straight up murdering Breonna Taylor. And that's why they're under federal investigation, because Mattingly, who made up the whole drug scenario, I mean, even they haven't really been punished yet. They may be under investigation. We haven't seen no trial or heard of any trial starting. Oh boy. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.